Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mohammed Haris and this is Fears, where stories don't whisper, fear speaks. Tonight you'll hear bloody, real and terrifying tales told by none other than Killer Droid, who doesn't just narrate, she clings to your mind. If you're alone or feel like someone's watching you, it's better you stop this video right now, because these stories attack in silence. But if you truly think you're brave, then watch till the end and drop a comment. Fears can't harm me. Subscribe to Fears, because the next story might be right behind you. Recite Ayatul Kursi. The tale is about to begin.
Kayla, a 22-year-old American au pair, arrived in Austria to live with the Muller family. The house was ancient, stone-built, and isolated, tucked between snow-dusted hills. Inside, long creaking hallways and antique furniture gave it a museum-like silence. Emil, the 6-year-old boy, rarely spoke, and always stared up at the ceiling, as if something were there. Kayla noticed a strange door at the end of the hallway, an attic door that never stayed shut. Each night, she would find it open again, even after locking it or placing furniture against it. One night, she caught a glimpse of something pale retreating into the darkness. When she confronted the mother, Eliza only said, "Keep Emil out of there. That's not our space anymore." Emil began drawing disturbing pictures of a woman with black eyes and no mouth, standing behind Kayla in each sketch. He claimed she came down when the attic was open. "She watches me when you're gone." The house grew colder. Scratches appeared on the walls. Kayla tried to leave, but her flights were mysteriously cancelled. One night, she awoke to find Emil standing beside her bed, staring at the ceiling. "She says, you're next," he whispered. Kayla gathered her things and fled. But before leaving, she glanced up at the attic one final time. Standing there was the figure from Emil's drawings, smiling. Her mouth finally open, revealing rows of human teeth. Sophia, a 19-year-old au pair from Spain, took a job caring for Abby, a wealthy couple's quiet daughter. Their home was grand and antique, filled with portraits, long curtains, and a guest room that no one entered. Abby avoided that room, whispering, "She lives there." When Sophia asked who, Abby said, "The girl who doesn't blink." One evening, Sophia opened the door. The air inside was ice cold. Sitting on the bed was an old porcelain doll, cracked and smiling. Unsettled, Sophia closed the door. That night, she woke up to find the doll sitting on her own nightstand. The parents claimed Abby was playing tricks, but Abby denied touching it. She moves when no one's looking. The next day, Sophia found a second doll identically on the stairs. Then a third. Each had a slightly more cracked face, and eyes that seemed to follow her. The whispers started soon after, at 3:15 a.m., every night. Childlike voices chanting in another language. Sophia finally planned to leave, but the night before her flight, she found all 3 dolls lined up in her bed. Each one now had strands of her hair sewn into their heads. She fled before sunrise. A week later, she received a letter from Abby. Inside was a Polaroid. It showed 4 dolls in the guest room. Lucy, 24, had always dreamed of living in France. When she landed a job as an au pair in a small village outside Lyon, she imagined cozy nights, fresh bread, and quiet countryside life. The house was old stone walls, timber beams, surrounded by dense woods. Her host family seemed kind, but withdrawn, especially the mother, who often stared out windows like she was waiting for something terrible. Lucy was warned about one thing: Never open the door at the end of the hall. It's just storage, the father said. It's locked for a reason. She didn't press it until she started hearing sounds, crying, at night. Muffled sobs. Always from behind that locked door. She asked Camille, the family's sweet 7-year-old daughter. About it, Camille looked up at her and said calmly, "She cries because she remembers." Lucy's skin chilled. During a thunderstorm, the house lost power. As she lit candles in the kitchen, she knocked over a rusted teapot. Inside it was a heavy, rusted key. She knew what it was. Heart pounding, candle shaking, she approached the door. The key fit perfectly. The smell hit her first, like rust and rot. Inside was a stone room with a blood-stained floor. Chains hung from the ceiling. Strange symbols were etched into every surface. In the center, a mattress ratted and soaked. The walls were scratched, gouged deep, like someone had tried to claw their way out. And on the far wall, in streaks of faded brown red, were the words, "Je reviendrai pour elle." I will come back for her. She ran. The next morning, without a word, the parents handed her money and told her to leave immediately. Back in Canada, Lucy tried to forget. But 3 weeks later, a box arrived at her door. No return label. No note. Inside was a small doll, handmade from straw. Around its wrist was a tiny red bracelet. Camille's bracelet.
These were tonight's stories, but remember, they didn't come to scare you, they came to wake you up. If your heart's still beating, you belong to Fears. Subscribe, hit the bell, because fear doesn't knock, and if you feel a shadow move, and don't turn around. The story has ended us, but someone's still watching you.